everybody, welcome back to Tone Check with Guitar Nation. So we've got a
Nation.
special announcement today also again. I think there's a lot of special things coming to the shop in the next few weeks, right?
A few rounds lah, a few rounds of stuff coming in lah.
A
It's
few
crazy.
rounds. You already can slightly see already what's going on behind me, so we'll reveal it a little bit more later. So Josh, how long we've been waiting for this guitar brand to come in already? This guitar models and brands come in already?
Uh, since our order placement, I think like couple months lah, around 4 months, 4 to 5 months, give or take. That one's because of customs was being a bit of
Pain
a
in the
hassle
bum.
lah. Yeah.
Yeah. So we've want to announce this out loud now, and you already saw it already that Guitar Nation is officially the dealer of Nash guitars. So if you all don't know Nash
Woo!
guitars, right? Nash guitar is somewhat I would consider somewhat a heritage brand. They've been around for quite a while. Definitely not as old or as Gibson or Fender for sure, but
Yeah,
they've been around quite a while. You know, longer than most new brands you see today, even. Right,
yeah,
Josh?
yeah. They're
So
they're one of the I mean, you could say that they're one of the guys that were like testing out like new waters back in the day.
mm,
Like Nash was one of the first to do like color over color stuff, like super heavy relics outside of a Fender custom shop kind of stuff. Yeah. So he was one of like the earlier first ones. And then of course the history of Nash is he started in his basement or his garage, and then he started
yeah.
growing from there. Yeah. So it's been really, really cool to like also talk to the guys at Nash, and then like it's still a very family knit kind of company.
Yeah. We were surprised when we found like the wife was handling emails and then like the
Yeah,
son is
yeah,
helping with finishes and things like that. Then Bill is very much still Bill Nash, by the way, is still very much involved in the process.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's still quite hands-on lah. Like he will also sometimes answer emails. He will also get inquiries in from people, and then it will be directly from him. So sometimes whenever people email like Nash, it's usually the man himself replying you.
What's really cool is this so for people that ask oh, how long would Nash take to build, and we say like give or take, if we are lucky, 3 to 6 months, or 4 to 4 now these days. 6 months is it at least
It's it's
these
it's
days?
going it's going up to about 6 months, 6 months give or take. The
But
reason
why
is
is
because
that?
of the worldwide of I mean basically worldwide there is like this resurgence of guitar stuff. Basically ever since lockdown, no one could get anything, no one could buy anything. It was very slow. And then now all over the world, everyone's basically reopening borders, and then shops are reopening and things like that. So a lot of stuff is basically coming back up into the market again. So a lot of that's happening. So since that's happening, there's another resurgence of like orders coming in like nonstop, even for Nash, even for Fender, even for all the big name brands. So basically they're piled on with like back orders right now.
Right.
So it's a 6 month wait lah, to get
Yeah.
your that kind of guitar nowadays. And
Hopefully that
and
wait time
being
doesn't extend lah.
yeah, being and because it's a very small company, so it's
Yeah.
still a very, very family run. There's like maybe what 9, 10 people in the factory that does the overall building, shipping, painting, all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So it's a very, very like small company. You're still very hands on.
Yeah.
So I don't think they push out numbers like crazy lah. So that's
Yeah.
why that's why there's that wait.
Yeah, it's very much a custom shop experience in a way, you can say, right?
Yeah,
It's done by these guys in close quarters. It's not mass produced at all. So these guitars have all very personal touches to it, one, right?
yeah, yeah,
So I'm gonna
yeah.
show in the case now some of the guitars. So we're gonna start with the Tele. Ooh, one of my favorites. This is the Nash T63 in Aztec Gold. My goodness, look at
Yeah,
that.
it's a really, I mean, it's a very stunning Aztec lah. It's a very stunning Aztec.
Oof, look at that. Look at that. So Josh, why don't you run through with us the specs on what makes this guitar? You know, what is on this guitar basically?
So that one, the T63 is basically a T style 63 guitar. So 63 meaning it's a rosewood fingerboard. It has some 63 kind of like touches to it. So Bill Nash himself, basically when he names the things, it's just paying homage to like that particular generation or that year of like guitar. So that's why it has that look lah. But basically, like back in 63, obviously there wasn't Aztec Gold back in 63. So that's where you get a little bit more of that customizable thing. But rosewood board, 3-ply guard, you get your typical like the brass saddles, all that. That one is all based around a 63.
And you notice
So
something special about the brass saddles, right? You want to mention that?
yeah. So the brass saddles, you can see, they aren't like those typical compensated kind of like brass saddles. They are like you can see the tilt. the tilt is really quite drastic. But the thing is that it retains the look of the old traditional kind of brass saddles, but it's intonated super well. Yeah, like even though it looks like the old school way of things, and there isn't like those modern day kind of intonated kind of bridges, but it intonates very well. Like it still looks very traditional. It's just bent like crazy, but it looks super traditional, but it looks and sounds intonated lah. Yeah, it's super intonated.
I'm sure you'll hear that this guitar in the demo later when Josh Chong will be playing either before or after lah. I haven't decided yet. So basically, right, what's the pickups on this?
Lawless.
Lawless all the way, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
auto hardware, right, with CTS ports.
CTS hardware all around. But I think if I'm not wrong, I need to pop the thing open to see. But I think some of the parts, like the ports, have the word Nash stuck to it. Like they stamp the word Nash to it. So it's a little bit more of that small touch, kind of like customizable touch. Like, there's Nash on the ports. They use orange drop caps, CRL switches and stuff like that. So it's really cool. Uh, the pickups are out of this world, man. I mean, like aside from the playability and everything, but the pickups are crazy. Like it's a really sweet tele neck pickup,
Yeah.
and the bridge is like super cool. The bridge like flying, man. Bridge is like tones.
I've never heard a tele neck pickup that sounds like this. Like every tele pickup I've played always sounded a little bit, except for the twisted teles. Every other tele pickup I played, they sound a little bit numb and a little bit too round because they were designed that way where people, right, will go to the neck pickup, roll that tone out, and then substitute like a bass guitar, right? But the way this neck pickup is wired, the way Jason Lawless probably did it, and you were telling me that actually Bill Nash has discussed with, like, sort of like given his taste also on Lola's, on what he tweaks a little bit so that it fits his guitars, right?
Yeah. So the bridge you can see the neck is your typical. I think the neck, if I'm not wrong, the neck is their vintage wound lawless. But then after that, the bridge is like this Nash special kind of like wound. So
So it's a
that's why it
little
has
bit
like
hotter, a little bit
it's a
more
little
power.
bit more hotter. It's not like your typical tele ice pickiness, but it retains a lot of that tele spank, like the tele twang. So it
Hmm.
has a lot of that, going on for it. So that's why it's really cool.
Mm. Let's talk a little bit about the neck, right? So this is the same for the Nash Strat also. So basically, right, the neck is bare wood, and I've been playing it for a few days and noticing that you can actually feel the bare woodness. But people think like, oh, so it's just gonna be a just quickly sand through all the way. But actually, there's detail in this. Like if you notice,
Yeah.
like this yellow part here, right? You were saying that it's actually still somewhat feels like a not gloss new, but somewhat worn in, but not bare wood. So there is a difference, and I think Bill Nash and his team go to great lengths to make sure that these kind of details retain in all their guitars, right?
Yeah. So I think the reason for, I mean, it's a tasting lah. So the guitar is currently light relic, but then everyone is like, why from light relic to heavy relic? Why are their necks still like mackered like crazy, sanded like crazy heck? The reason is because Bill himself has like this thing where he makes the necks feel super played in by doing that technique. So it gets that really comfy played in feel, regardless of, I mean, obviously it's an aesthetic thing lah. Like obviously no, like everyone feels like, oh, it's a little bit too much relic, but actually it's more of a playability kind of feel thing. Like it's all about the playability. So if you can see the neck, and then obviously some, I think it's sexy lah. I think it's sexy, like it shows off like, oh, crazy, like the years of playing, but then the guitar still in very clean condition. Foo.
I mean,
Yeah.
we've owned a few guitars ourselves, and when we first played this, we were just as much a little bit like, what's the hype behind this? We were
Yeah.
curious, and now that we've had these guitars in the shop for a while and we played them a little bit, and we go like, we get it,
The
we get
yeah,
it.
because Bill Nash's guitars have been like sort of, how to say, like a lot of people you can see, like Josh Scott from JHS, and then like a few other players, whenever they pick up their Nashes, they say like it's otherworldly, like in terms of the playability, and the pickups sound great. So the combination of like Bill's build technique, I guess, to his relicking, and also the lawless on it, basically just makes for a really great guitar. And the strat is just also another cool example. Like that one's a ice blue metallic. That's their ice blue metallic, bro. In a like relic.
And we were just saying under certain light, right, it changes the color a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's a metallic, so it looks really cool, like under different kind of lights. It goes from a darker blue to a lighter blue, so it really cool. And it's a mean guard. This one has a lot of blondes in them. The bridge is also a special wound bridge, so it's a little bit hotter. It's not as ice picky. So I think a lot of players really like that about certain bridges, because bridge pickups are notoriously ice picky. So Nash is obviously listening lah to a lot of players out there who wants like the bridge to be cut through but not like breaking your eardrums kind of thing. So it's a really really cool thing. They've got Goto all around. They've got
Go to Tram
a,
also. Go to Tram.
yeah. So they got Goto all around. Goto tram, Goto machines. They've got a task nut, so it's lubricated. So you can freely string up your guitars. They will
It
stay
stays in this guitar
lubricated.
stays in tune. This is the first strat I play where you can
The wobble is right, like the wobble is right.
it stays in
Yeah,
tune perfectly still. And can do
yeah.
all my
And then
crazy bends.
the best part about the guitar is also because it's basically a really really cool in between kind of like build we feel, because it's a 10-inch radius with 6105 frets, which makes the guitar super super easy playable. Like
It's
it's
not as it's
great.
not as flat like a Gibson 12. It's not
Yeah,
as round. But it still retains that round feeling that you
that
get from like a
sort of, yeah,
9.5. Yeah.
yeah. So it has a lot of that, how to say, it has a lot of that like it still stays in the realm of that Fender feel,
Mm.
but it doesn't go all the way to like, oh, this fingerboard feels super flat. And with the 6105, 6105s are notorious for like easy playing, because they're narrow tall frets, so they're really really like great for like your typical bands. It can do everything lah, bro. Crazy man, these guitars. Yeah, so you can see like even from the shadow there, you can see like the telly has like a bit of like
Yeah, yeah.
darkness on the side.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's all super like tastefully, slight light relics. It's very very nice to see,
Yeah.
because I mean, it's a taste lah. Relics are a tasting, whether you want heavy or light.
But we also want relics that make sense, right? We were talking about it. Relics, certain relics can be a bit overdone, and that's fine. But when we look at Bill Nash's guitar, we see the relics that they put the dings. It's like it makes sense. These relics
Yeah,
are there, and the best thing about it, it's still an empty canvas for new players and new owners to take home and
yeah,
add their own relics to it also. When
yeah.
without
You
feeling too bad about it already, because you pretty much got a few dings here and
Yeah,
there.
yeah. That's why actually these guitars, I mean, these guitars in comparison, if you were to compare them with like something out in the market, it's probably a Wildwood 10, like a Wildwood 10 Fender,
Yeah,
like 10-inch radius, 6105 frets, and then they are all relic ready. So relic ready meaning like the finish is not super thick, so you can
yeah,
relic them super easily. So it's the same for Nash. Their finishes aren't very thick, so you
yeah.
can relic them super easily.
But they cost half the price of Wildwood then lah.
Yeah lah, yeah lah.
Yeah,
That's
around
why
there.
it's a really really cool, like it's really really cool to see. Still there's like US mom and pop kind of shops running guitar buildings. They build guitars, all this kind of stuff. So it's really cool to see lah.
It really
And
is. It
and
really is.
and you can see like from the necks, like the way that they do relic necks, they're all not the same. Like the best thing about relics is that as much as they have sort of like a
You won't find the same
relic,
smart spot in another guitar.
yeah,
You won't
yeah,
find it. Yeah.
yeah. So you'll never see like my telly is like your telly, or your telly is like my telly. Basically, all of their stuff is different from each other.
Yeah. You can add your own stories to it also. I mean, one thing me and Joshua always talks about when my guitars get dinged or his guitars get dinged, it's like it's a story there. There's a story there.
There's always, I mean, how much fun would it be if your guitar had a story, man? It's so cool. It's like, imagine you tell your grandkids next time about the guitar story, where the guitar came from.
I remember that ding. That ding was when I was playing on stage and then it fell and hit my pedals and go like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, then after
And
that,
that's
the,
a
the
memory that you will have forever.
you'll have a matching ding on your guitar and on your pedal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
really,
it's
yeah.
really cool. It's really cool. Like seeing both. This one's the same also, as touch nut and all that kind of stuff. So both guitars have very similar. The neck carves and the neck shapes are pretty much similar on both.
Cease,
Only
cease.
different is the headstock lah. Basically, one is a Strat headstock, one's a Tele headstock.
Yep, yep, yep.
Yeah, but they're really really comfortable Cs. The frets, the way that the frets are rolled over, the way that the necks feel.
Yeah.
It's
It's
it's a
not
really clean cut kind of feel and look lah.
correct. It's people say like, oh, it's a Relic guitar, but yeah, it feels new. I think we kind of finally now get it. It definitely doesn't feel like a brand new off the factory guitar. Like like you
Yeah,
try some new Mexicans or new MIAs Fenders, right? Nothing against those guitars. It's just that they do feel very new. These do feel worn in, but they don't feel wrecked.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, they don't feel wrecked. They feel worn in, but in a way that you pick it up and you know what I mean. You guys as players will know one. The guys
yeah.
that I implore you, everyone that watches this video or you heard about it on our Facebook page, you owe it to yourself once this MCO ends to come to the shop and try these Nash out.
Come
They
and
are
strum
an
strum.
astounding guitar and they are crazy, crazy resonant. I've yet to play because Strats are solid bodies, right? So only a semi hollow, and I play this solid body and it goes like it's loud and it rings.
Yeah,
And
it's a really cool, it's a really cool, like that one you see there, the ice blue metallic strat is with Alder. The special thing about the tele is the
oh,
tele. So this is a thing for some gear nerds also lah. Like if some of you know last time, like Fender used to have a lot of different kind of woods. Fender used to make guitars out of pine, out of alder, out of different kind of woods. So the tele is a pine tele,
yeah, you can
like it's a
actually still
pine
see a
wood
little bit of
tele.
the grain seeping through that finish. A little bit, just a
Yeah,
little bit. I
yeah.
can't
So
get
the
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 camera here,
finish
but
is finish is thin enough. And the grain under a certain light of the metallic, you can see the grain. So it's really cool lah. It's really a nice cool pine
yeah, you can
tele.
see those lines a little bit. A
Yeah, and
little bit.
pine is a really like understated kind of wood because it's really resonant. Like right now, acoustically, I think if you play it, there's like that kind of resonance to it. Yeah, and being a string through tele, it's even better because you get the whole vibration of the body and stuff.
It sustains. And for bolt on, I mean, the surprising thing is when I pick this tally up from the case and go like,
It's light, bro.
this is light. I
It's
picked up
super
your
light,
tally
bro.
and I go like, that feels like I'm heading back to the gym. But this one when I pick it up, it's like, dude, what the heck is this chamber? Then obviously it's not. The only chamber
Not
is just the routing for the pickup. And sorry, not even also just I think I remember tallies are just
it's a
routed
tele.
here,
Yeah,
right?
it's a tele. Yeah, it's just
Uh
a normal standard tele routing. Yeah,
so there's no chamber. That means the wood selection of this wood, this pine, is really lightweight. It's crazy. I mean, it's luck one, not every Nash is guaranteed that way. But so happen this one is really light
yeah.
and really loud and really resonant. Compared you just heard the Strat, this is a loud guitar. So I hope I don't take this home lah.
It's technically already in your house lah. So
Speaking of taking it home, what's the prices on this, Josh? For both the Tele and the
Um,
Strat.
so the Strat will be a little bit more expensive lah because of the extra pickup and then the controls and stuff. So for the Tele goes for I think around about 11,005 ish to 11,006. And the Strat goes for about 11,007.
Hmm.
So it's just slightly above than the Tele.
Again, these are not affordable in a way where you think like it's a $1,000 guitar. No. They are
Yeah,
quality
yeah,
made instruments, so they cost a bit more. They're made by
yeah,
guys that know their stuff for many years already. But in comparison to certain other similar builds and quality, they are not. They are actually, in my opinion, much more affordable, much more
yeah.
reachable.
They've
Yeah.
they come. I mean, like it's basically how it's basically if you wanted like a Wildwood 10 from Wildwood, but then you didn't want to spend like a Wildwood 10 price range kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's fun. It's fun to come over and try. Once the MCO's over, hope everyone can come over, just try the guitars out. I
Yeah.
tell you, man, like when we first got the guitars in also, we were like, oh my gosh, like the pine body was so light. The Strat was for some reason the Strat was it's heavy because of the block, but
Mhm.
aside from that, it's a very light Strat. Like
And
it's one
yeah,
of the
and I don't
lighter
think it's
Strat.
like a very heavy strat. To be honest, we've played heavier strats compared
Yeah,
to
we've played heavy
your
Strats. My
look
Strat is
your
heavier,
MIM
bro.
correct. He has a
My Strat
Fender
is
MIM that's like when I picked that, I was like, oh, but it sounds
yeah,
so good.
yeah.
Sometimes something he did lah. I don't know
Because
what he
I
did
the
lah.
one because my guitar also Relic one, bro.
You all
Yeah.
can hit the Joshua Sakai and find out how the MIM
You
Poly Relic so well, surprisingly on his one.
Poly. So that one's a trade secret lah. You give depending on how people know how to take care of the guitar certain ways, is how your guitars will end up relicking in certain ways also.
We shall talk
Yeah,
about
but
relicking and finishes another day. We shall.
yeah, that one will be in like maybe our future TikTok. Who knows?
Future TikTok, future pockets, future TikToks.
I don't know lah. I don't know.
All
People keep
right.
telling us we should start a TikTok. I don't know why.
Oh my goodness. You be the main TikTok, you be the main TikTok content lah. You be the one.
I'm old man already. I cannot. Don't want.
We'll
Yeah,
get
but
George.
then
We'll
these
get
these
George. We'll get
two
George.
we'll get Josh lah. We'll get Josh. We'll get Josh. These two guitars are really cool. They've got like I think they got like a really cool case also. Is the case there with you, right?
Yeah, I can bring it over. Just give me a quick sec.
They got like this crazy cool gator case, like this teardrop kind of gator case. Yeah, so these are like if you can see those are like alligator print, snake skin, reptile print kind of like gator cases, and then there's a very nice small Nash plaque on the side.
I'm gonna open it
The
up and
the
see.
the fun part about the inside is the vinyl lining inside. Oh, it's green, bro. It's green. Oh, dude.
It comes to the pocket. It comes with little
Yeah.
goodies inside. Oh, we shall
There's
not
like a
reveal what is it.
couple. Yeah. So there's like some case candy also lah, huh, for you guys who are interested.
And one thing about nitro, I noticed every nitro guitar that I have, even my Eastman that has nitro, the
Yeah.
earlier ones, right? They smell like apple for some reason, and
They've got that. Yeah. So I think like because Nash uses nitro, so it smells very It smells very like berries and
Yeah,
flowers.
yeah. Awesome, awesome. Okay, thanks so much, Josh. Thanks so much, guys, for checking this out. We're gonna get Josh Wong to play us out with either of these guitars. I still haven't decided which one to start off, but he's been doing a tremendous job. Go follow him on his Instagram, the Joshua Wong, on his
Josh
Instagram, and
Wong.
the Josh Wong.
The
He's
Josh
like
Wong.
the Josh Wong. He's a great
He's
player. Check him
he's
out.
he's he's crazy like his tones, man, tones.
Yeah, yeah. And if you have any feedback or any comments or anything on how we can further improve this, feel free to drop in the comment section as well. Follow us on our social media, Instagram and Facebook, in the link right below here, or I don't know. I'll decide where I'm
Yeah.
gonna put it later.
You
I
get
forget,
you
I
get
forget.
in touch, with us, social media everywhere,
Yeah.
Now just chat with us, man, anytime, any day.
We love to talk about anything, all things gear, and just to generally just see how you guys are doing as well. At the end of the day, Guitar Nation is not just a shop that sells guitars. We want to be a community where we can all gas together, lah. Right?
Yeah.
What's the point of having fun talking about guitars if it's not about a
When
community
it's
that we're
by when
in?
it's by yourself, yeah. I mean, you can't
Yeah.
talk about guitar stuff to your own guitars, lah. You need like you can't be like, hey Strat, you look so good today.
You want to tell your friend, hey Josh, my Strat looks so good today. And Josh will be like, stop it.
Yeah, yeah. So it's always fun to like get in touch with everyone. So always like
Yeah.
hit us up anytime, any day.
Yeah.
For all of your guitar stuff and all guitar related stuff, just let us know, man. Just let us
Yep.
know.
Yep. So any more information about these guitars, or if you want to pre-order more Nash, you can pre-order. Like Josh said, the build time's about 6 months, give or take, due to the pandemic. Hopefully, the wait build period doesn't go up but goes down, lah. So we shall see how it goes.
Yeah,
But again, you can pre-order. Just hit us up with a DM. Say, hey, I want to order a Nash. We'll walk through with you the process on how you want to
yeah.
build your guitar.
It's a
We've
very
also
simple, like 5 minutes procedure. Just
very
give us a
fast.
call, and then we can straight away even quote you on the same day, give you a full quote, and then give you sort of like the estimated like length of like the time period, also how long it'll take to build.
Yep.
Yeah,
And for bolt-on guitars, future, yeah, because you guys know we carry Eastman also, so they're set neck guitars and things like that. But for more bolt-on guitars, we have a couple more coming in. We won't say what yet. We won't say
I mean,
how.
if you
We won't
guys see
say.
our social media, you guys will
You
know
know lah.
lah.
You know
Yeah,
lah.
yeah, coming
But
lah, coming.
coming. So we will
That
have
one
more
another
information
video for
update.
another day.
So make
Yeah,
sure to follow our socials. Okay. All right,
yeah.
guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Take care. This is Josh and Wilson saying bye bye.
Have fun, guys.